Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Welcome back to another schema scalper video. Today we're going to be looking at the second window of importance in terms of time that I look at. It's from 0900, sorry, from 0700 to 0900. This is all Eastern Standard Time, New York time. Um, and this usually not all the time, um, is a time where there is a market correction or reversal. So you'll see maybe a small move down to go in the same direction that the 2 to 5 window creates, or outright high or low of the day. Cool. Okay, let's get into it. Now we're looking at the same. If you haven't watched the previous video where we look at the 0200 to 0500 window, go and watch that, because that'll make sense of why these are on my chart, all of these markings and areas. If you have, welcome back, and we're going to be looking at the next time area. So during this time, it usually creates the low of the day if it wasn't made during the 0200, or a small retracement and continuation. So let's look at it from here, from 9. Right. Dun, 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 dun. I wanna fly a rocket. You see that? There's a small correction and then it continues the move higher. And then there's certain cases where it actually acts as the point of reversal, like an outright reversal for the daily range. Like you'll find the high or low in the day in this time. But there's certain cases, and that's down to price and news events. And price, I mean, there's certain times of the day when it's trending, and in this London or 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock window will be sloppy, and you just want to trade during this time, then during this 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock window. See that small retracement into London and then a continuation. Dun, 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 dun. That's about the range. Makes the low of the day just before that range and then continues higher. Okay, now we're looking at 7 till 9 once again. That makes the high of the day. This one I would ignore because the line range is so large. Hey. Okay. 7 till 9. Once again. Okay. 7 till 9. Goes back into London range and then expands away in the direction London was going, or the direction the 2 till 5 was going. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Creates the high of the day. That one goes back into London, or the 2 till 5 a.m. expands away in the direction it was going, and just expands. Okay, stayed within London's range, didn't exit, and then we had a low of day right after with an expansion up, creating the high of the day. So that one might be something interesting to look at. This one looks like the low of the day just after. Almost the low of the day, so it went down, had a retracement back into London, and then went lower, closing at almost the low of the day. And London, I mean 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. time, it's usually called the London session, or people refer to it as London session. Now the last day, I think that's low of the day. No, it's a bit late. So just after low of the day was made. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. I wanna fly a rocket. So here, London was expanding up. It came, dropped lower, even lower, created a low day and expanded further higher. So now we can look at all of these times when it created the low of the day. am I? So London made the low of the day here. Low of the day here. Low high of the day here. Low of the day here. Low of the day here. Low high of the day here. Good say high of the day, but yeah. Okay. And New York made high of the day here. High of the day here. High of the day here. Almost the low of the day, but we'll get into the next time. So 3 times out of the past 12 during the 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock window, the low or high of the day was made. And this is all relative to day open. So I'm talking about the low of the day below day open, or high of the day above day open. These, yeah. And it's quite interesting to see that if you're looking at the time during London, or the 2 to 5 window, and the 7 to 9 window, you see they don't create opposite ends of the range. That's the most interesting part to me. So for instance, like here, the low of the day was made early on between 2 and 5, and the high of the day wasn't made between 7 and 9. Yeah, low of the day between 2 and 5, high of the day not between 7 and 9. Low of the day, that's just before 7 to 9, but the high of the day wasn't made between 2 and 5. High of the day between 7 and 9, low of the day not between 2 and 5. High of the day between 7 and 9, low of the day not between 2 and 5. So if you're looking for a reversal during this time, your target should be below the lows that's made in 2 and 5 if you're selling, and above the highs that's made between 2 and 5 if you're buying. It's just a little nugget. See there, right after, and it runs out that high. Here you're entering inside the range and it runs out the low, and you're expecting that to be high of the day. You're expecting this to be low of the day even though it gets run out. Expecting this to be low of the day. It tries to run it out, but it doesn't, and expands higher. So yeah. So during the 7 and 9 o'clock window, do this in your chart. Mark it out like this. And then every time there's a low of the day between 7 and 9, go and look at economic calendar, go and look at previous day range, and go and look at Asian session, the Asian session expansion. So between the range between 8 o'clock and midnight, all in New York time, and then also 6 o'clock and midnight, New York time. This is really important because you'll realize that there are some days when there's multiple news events and a lack of news events, that the low or high of the day will be made later on in the day, like between 7 and 9. And then you'll also realize that there's some days where there's a trend or a lack of trend or a large expansion during the time between 8 p.m. and midnight, and also the time between 6 p.m. and midnight, New York time. And they will tell you something about what will happen inside of the day, the range for the day. I'll leave you with that. Cheers.